So for the past 32 years, usually when I get asked a question, whether it's by media or friends, it never fails to amaze me that they always ask me, what's it like to be a female in a non-traditional trade working with men? And the vision for me, that the question will just be, what was your career in the fire service like? Without asking about gender and not making it a man's job.
Yeah, so I work in suppression. So we respond to all different types of emergency calls. They could be things like medical emergencies, specialized rescue, hazmat calls. We're very active in the community, so there's an element of the job where we do a lot of public education.
I've been 25 years in nursing and felt like I needed a change and wanted to challenge myself with something that is EMS related, and I decided to take on the fire service.
A component of my job encompasses the investigation of fatal fires, serious injury fires, explosions, large loss fires over $500,000, arsons, suspicious fires, and fires that are of public interest and public safety.
We attend fires, we do interviews, we collect evidence, we do body recoveries, we attend autopsies, we go to court and testify as an expert in fire science. We assist the police, we assist the fire.
My particular role is to conduct inspections in buildings, new construction as well as existing construction, and also to enforce the fire code where necessary. And I have an obligation to also address public education in the fire service to minimize the risk of fires to my community.
I'm responsible for reaching out to my community, developing programs, making sure that the community has the information that they need to prevent fires from occurring.
I am responsible for the training division, which trains the firefighters, new firefighters coming in the door, as well as our career firefighters, to keep them up to date in different techniques and education. I also oversee fire prevention and education, and that's important because it brings the fire safety messages into the schools. And the last area that I have responsibility for is for volunteer firefighters, and that is preparing our volunteers that respond 365 days a year to be very prepared firefighters.
So for me, it was a pretty big misconception. I always thought it was a guy's job. I never really considered a career in the fire service. I always assumed you had to be a big, strong guy in order to be a firefighter.
When I was a teenager, I didn't really even consider a job in this field, to be honest.
I didn't think about it as a viable career for me because at that time there were no role models that I could relate to that were women in the fire service.
Wasn't even a consideration. At 19, women were in professions like nursing because it's very woman-dominated profession. Firefighting was definitely for big, strong men. And after taking this program made me realize that that is absolutely not true.
Working in the fire service is not just a man's job. I think that the fire service is open to everybody, and we need to have as many different tools in our toolbox as possible, and women have a real value that they bring to the fire service.
A myth in the fire service would be that women are not strong enough to perform the duties required by a firefighter. I can tell you in my current role and having witnessed women in the fire service over a number of years, I've not seen one woman not be able to perform her job. So I think that's the biggest myth.
Educate yourself. No one is going to give you anything in this life. You have to figure out what you want, and then you have to go after it. But you have to work hard.
And that's exactly what I'm doing right now, is learning new things. It's exciting, and I'm loving it.
I would say that the biggest thing is just you get to be a lifelong learner. The challenge of becoming the best version of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally, and being able to constantly build on that over the course of your career is absolutely amazing, and that's one of the best parts of the job.
really dig deep and find out what's important to you.
I'd like to share how proud I am to be a part of this group of women who I think are going to empower other women. I mean, if a young person is thinking that a career in the fire service, and particularly a woman, is for them, I would like to encourage them that the sky's the limit. You can do whatever you want.
This job is for everyone and anyone that wants to pursue a career in the fire service. And it is not based on your gender, and it's not based on your age. It's based on the desire to want a career and work in the fire service and help others.